Our world is on the verge of World War III with ensuing terrorism covering over half of the globe, depletion of natural resources, such as water, oil, influentially biased and war-minded leaderships of the superpowers, and the uprising tensions between countries such as Russia and Ukraine, North Korea and South Korea, India and China. Despite this, there are some highly neutral countries which might be left alone if World War III ever breaks out. Welcome to another Reviewed for You Travels video. In this one we'll be showing you the list of 10 safest countries if World War III breaks out. If you like what we do, please consider subscribing and don't forget to like and ring the bell to be notified to our next video. Thank you, keep it groovy. 10. Tuvalu. Tuvalu lies within the vast expanses of the Pacific Ocean. It is an extremely secluded and politically non-aligned nation due to its isolation and neutrality. It has a small population with negligible resources, giving the major countries involved in the World War absolutely no objective to attack it. Moreover, unlike other island nations, Tuvalu's people are uniquely self-sufficient, i.e., they produce their own food according to their consumption, and other necessities according to the requirements. So, they will probably be left alone in a war scenario. 9. New Zealand. New Zealand is another sequestered, yet developed nation, with a stable democracy and no history of gory war conflicts. Its friendly foreign policy gained 4th spot in the Global Peace Index. Much like Tuvalu, it is capable to support itself in short term, as it has fertile soil and clean water and it produces its own food. Moreover, its mountainous terrains shall provide shelter if ever it falls in the brink of invasion. But, most likely it will be just left alone, having nothing to do with the outside world at war. 8. Switzerland. Although Switzerland shares its borders with Germany, France and Italy, which are likely to take active part in the World War III. But, nukes will not be landing on Switzerland due to its tough mountainous terrain, staunch traditional neutrality, and with a slight humorous touch, Swiss bank. Switzerland has also undoubtedly proved itself to be a safe haven during Europe's bloody past. And, even if the nukes somehow ended up landing there, most of the Swiss populace is heavily armed with bunkers all around the territory, not to mention the mountains shielding them from the neighbor war-torn countries. 7. Bhutan. Seeing Bhutan in this list might be surprising because it shares borders with two potential World War III combatants, India and China. But the truth is that its unique location and landscape provides it with an excellent shelter through any apocalyptic disaster. Bhutan, being surrounded by the Himalayas, makes it landlocked and concealed enough to be left unscathed. Moreover, since the country has joined the United Nations in 1971, it has maintained a Swiss-like disinclination from any kind of foreign intertwining and having no diplomatic relations with the United States as well. Only India and Bangladesh have their embassies in Bhutan's capital, making it just illogical to invade it. 6. Chile. Chile is one of the most flourishing and moored nation in South America, with human development ranking higher than any other Latin American nation. It becomes almost impenetrable from the west of its borders, where the Andes Mountains encompass it. From the atmospheric point of view, since it is situated in the southern hemisphere, it tends to have less pollution than the northern hemisphere because of being less populated and less industrialized. Added to this, Chile's air masses is continually replenished by the Antarctic, so it may stay cleaner than the nations to its north adulterated by war. 5. Greenland, Denmark. Denmark majors the nations of the European Union as well as NATO. So it is a fact that it will be immensely affected if an outbreak of war turns towards Europe, which surely will. But this is not the case with this autonomous, constituent country and a massive island in the Danish territory, Greenland. Just like other islands in this list, it is remote, politically non-aligned and mountainous. All that makes taking cover and survive a war much easier for the population if it is ever attacked. 4. Malta. Malta is a tiny island nation which floats in the Mediterranean Ocean. It is a fortress, which from being a crusader state to the World War II, has been failed from being captured by several empires. Its topography makes it extremely expensive and tough to be invaded by infantry or through the sea. In addition to that, due to it being relatively small, no country will waste an entire nuclear missile on it. So ultimately, in the end, it shall just be ignored by the major combatants of the WWIA. 3. Ireland. Even if Ireland lies right next to the biggest World War competent, England, it tends to a totally independent foreign policy and therefore, is not a member of NATO with having a long-standing military neutrality. It has no strong knots tied with other potential World War combatants either. According to Irish policy, if they ever had to enter any outlandish military conflicts, they will have to need an approval from the Irish government and legislature as well as the United Nations. Now that is a pretty sly but a wisely neutral policy. 2. Fiji. Fiji is another isolated island nation located in the deep Pacific Ocean. It has a small population with a peaceful foreign policy with no huge amounts of resources. Thus, holding no threat to any nation, therefore, making it a non-justified no-go area for the potential invaders. Fiji has been supporting human settlements since hundreds of years. And it could definitely manage some more in a case of World War III. 1. Iceland. Iceland is country so peaceful and neutral that it was ranked number 1 in the 2021 Global Peace Index. It does not share its border with any other country and is distant enough from the rest of the world. Besides, it has a mountainous terrain to take refuge in the worst-case scenarios. Nonetheless, initially this place is likely to be left alone even though missiles keep bombarding on the other countries. Do you like our video? Let me know your thoughts. Make sure to subscribe to this YouTube channel by clicking the button above this video.